Welcome back again. Yassine here. Alright, the moment we've been waiting for, a follow through day. Alright, so it had happened last, what day was it? It happened on last Thursday this week, and then really we had a follow day through and Friday. So this could be a bottom process. We're not really sure that this could be a rally from here, but definitely this is something that it's encouraging. And this is what I've been telling you since the break in here. I said we're going to be in a volatile market, and that's actually what happened. And the only thing that you want to see is you want to stay on the side, stay on the cash, and you want to wait for a follow through day. So this doesn't mean that it's 100% for sure that we're going to be going up from here, but it's a promising start. And I believe this comes up after a news that they were saying that the Fed's gonna slow down on their interest rate hike. So what you don't want to see from here is you don't want to see a violation of those days, especially that day and then this day. So that's what you don't want to see. The only thing you want to see is you want to see a break above the 50, and then consolidation after that, or it could be a break above the 50, the 200 moving average, which is the brown line. So to make that in perspective, going back to the crash of 2020, so what happened here is we went down here, and then we had a follow through this. We went up, and then we came down a little bit, pulled back, and then we had a pull up. So we went up right in here. So that's a follow through day that happened back in April 6th, which is this day right in here. And then what you want to see from there is you want to see the price holding up above these moving averages. See, let me take some of these lines out. This is the 200 moving average, and then you want to see the price. See, as soon as we had that follow through day, we kept holding up, so the price never came back down. That's what you really, that simple. You don't want to see the price coming down. The price held itself above the 21 moving average, and then slowly worked its way up, starting to cross above the 50, and then you see all the moving averages starting to shift. What's exactly what you want to see. And then after that, the price starting to break. So we consolidated here for a while. You can see the consolidation here, and that's exactly what you want to see. And then we're starting to break above some certain pivot points. So that's what you want to see. You don't want to see the indexes breaking, violating the lows of those days, the follow through day and the day that actually did reverse. So, and you see the price, and that's when you need to start looking for stocks. Actually, you need to start looking for stocks in here. So people who got some experience, they'll start dipping their toes. They start putting their cash into some positions, not 100%, but they will. That's like a promising start. Okay, and then from there, and actually, if you think about it, like you don't really have to be early in here. You don't have to be 100% all in here. It's like really some money was actually made. Some money was really made back when in here. See that in all this. I don't know what happened to my chart. It's starting to get freeze. Some people, like, you can make money like in this area right in here. All of this. You really, this is like a beginning. Like if you know what are you looking at, and if you're up to your game, and if you be doing your homework on a daily basis, yes, you can find stocks way early here. So once they start breaking out, because usually, like I said this before, when the market starting to bottom, other stocks that they're going to be leading, they're going to be breaking out. Okay, so you want to see them, you want to know them way early in here. So, and this is like if you're starting to look for stocks in here, and then you only see the trend, you kind of like almost a little bit late to the party. Okay, so that's exactly what's happening now. Like I said, this is a good indication. So you can start getting and dipping your toes, starting buying a little bit. But again, what you want to see, you want to see the price starting to hold above the 50 moving average. You want to pay attention to, you want to see the reaction, what's going to happen once we're starting getting close to these moving average, because you basically what you want at the end, you want to see the price staying above, like I just showed you, above these moving averages. Okay, so, and that happened actually it didn't happen only in one sector. It happened in multiple sectors and multiple indices, like the composite, You have the IWM, you have the Dow Jones. Dow Jones actually, I like the Dow Jones because it's really the way it was acting and the way it was showing. It's way better than the other indices. QQQ, SMH, and then XLF. So everything is showing up that follow through their rule. Couple stocks that I mentioned, that said, I uploaded one of my shorts like 2 days ago, and I said I'm gonna share with you some of the stocks that they're like potential to buy. Before actually I want to do that, I want to show you. I want to give you an update on what I was up to. I had told you I had a couple shorts. I closed some of them with small loss, but actually, where they at? Actually, they are right in here. So some of them, actually, let's show you what I was up to right in here. So I was shorting a couple stocks, and actually I'm still shorting a couple stocks, and I was long couple stocks. I'll show you. So as you can see here, AHR, I was long. I got in, and I did tweet about it, and I said I got a small position. If you look at my tweets here, I started the small position on the 19th. I started small position yesterday on the break AHR. So you can see that you can see AHR right in here. So this is what I got into AHR, small position, and then I got into IMXI, and I got in right on the break in here. So I liked both of them. You look at them on the weekly, they're really looking good. And then we have earnings coming up, and you look at AHR, it's a good break with good volume right in here, So going back to what I was up to, you can see that let's see, let's bring this in here, and I just want to show you what am I up to. 325. Okay, so this is what okay, so I had a couple positions. I had the big winners I had, it was GNRC. I closed the position was about like 29%, so that was short. I had Viva, I'm still holding short. AHR long. Meta, I'm still holding Meta to the short side. eBay to the short side, and MXI, like I told you. I had Go, and I had TGT. You can see it right in here. You had TGT and M&M. I closed this position for like 5 to 6% loss, and I'm still holding the rest of them. So basically, and this is what I keep telling you guys, if you keep disciplined, and if you stay disciplined to like 5% loss, 3% loss, and like what happened here, I had only one winner that was like 28%. That covered like for all my losses that happened before. If you stay disciplined, and that's the holy grail to trading, stay disciplined to that loss. Okay, one winner is going to cover a lot of previous losses. So I had GNRC, one of my shorts, and this is the weekly, so this is the daily. I started shorting right in here, and then I kept following it. It was actually weak when the market starting to go up above the 21 moving average. This actually was just not even, it was barely like closing above the 8, which actually showing relative weakness. And then I woke up one day and it was down like 20%, and I was like up 20, 28, 30%. So that was a good one. The one that I closed actually with small loss was M&M. So you can see I started to get in right in here on the short. I'm still not really good at shorting, but sometimes I get good winners. And the reason why I close it, and this is actually why I want to bring this up, not to brag, and I don't like to brag about my winners and stuff like that, but I just want to show you, I want you to learn what happens when those trade. So the moment this caught my attention, when it did actually reverse, when the market reversed, and then another key was, this is what actually when I closed my position. So this is getting ready to take off. So that's when I decided to take off my my short position. TGT was another one. I don't remember exactly when I got it when I got in, but I closed it with like another between 5% or 3 to 5% loss. And as soon as it started acting up like this, so basically so we gapped up in here, and then we went sideways. So actually basically we're having a flag, and it's getting ready to go up. It doesn't mean that it's gonna go up 100%, but it can go down to for sure. And so my current positions, I'm looking at my E-Trade right now. I have AHR. I'm up on it like 12%, almost close to 13%. Again, this is going to cover all my previous losses. I still have Viv, that's short one, and it's still acting weak. That's why actually I'm still holding it. The market reversed, starting to close above the 21, but this one is still below the 8, so that's not an indication of the stock is weak. IMXI, this is a long position. I'm still holding it. I'm up on it like not much, about 3%. Meta, it's still weak. The market went up green Friday, but this is actually was short. But I'm paying attention that the interest, I mean the earnings coming up on the 26th, and then I'm still holding eBay to the short side. If it goes above this high right here, I'm gonna call it a day. I'm gonna call it and close it. And then another one that I'm still holding short, it's Go. I don't know what's happening with the chart today. This is still acting weak, okay, and you can see that the stock's still below the 8, where the other indices are above the 21 moving average. So these are my actual trade, and the reason why I bring them, I don't like to brag and I don't like to show in my trades a lot, but I just want you to learn what I'm doing, why I'm doing it. Couple stocks that I said and I promised that I'm going to show you. If you do your homework, you will find a couple names that really popping up, and I think they're actionable. MCK, this is Maxon Corporation, earnings coming up on the first. You can see a good nice breakout coming up here, and you can see volume as well coming up in here. So that's a first actionable trade. Another one was GBL. You can see this is, I'm just watching, it's not actionable actually. We had a good run in here, I'll think about like over 30%, and then we went sideways. Now we're acting, we're just getting tight. And if you put it on a weekly, like I always tell you, put stocks on a weekly to give you some indication of what's happening. You can see the moment we went up on this day, we kind of violated it this day, we kind of violated this week, so this week we'll take off this. So this is the way I look at it. So this week doesn't exist, but we came back again, and since then we went sideways. So any violation of breakout of this pivot right in here, it will be an indication of going long. That's a GBL. Another stock that I want to share with you is called and if you actually put these stocks on IBD, I do have a subscription with them, you can see that they have their rating as well. You can see GBL in here. I pull it just to look at on the fundamental side, and it's good. This composite rating is like 98%, which is really good. Composite 98, APS earnings, it's 97. All of them are green, which is really good on the fundamental side. And then we have another one is called SANM. This is what is this? This is a technology. Earnings are coming up on the 14. Put the stock on the weekly, and you can see that we have a consolidation here. We have a breakout. That's a good time to enter. Came back, retested previous resistance, and now we're breaking out. Okay, now you look at it on the daily, you can see what's happening. The reason why you see this line in my chart is because it has a previous resistance. So I'm putting that line in there so it will remind me if the stock is getting close here, I'm going to start taking some profit. So you look at it in here, see it right in here. So we had a resistance. Another stock I want to show you is it's called CAH. Stock doesn't really have those great numbers like I always wanted to see. You can see it here on my TC 2000 chart. But I like the chart. Why I like the chart? Put it in a weekly, and you will see why I'm liking it. I don't like why sometimes they just freeze on me, and this is not really a good time to freeze. Alright, CAH, you can see it right in here. What I really like about it is I saw the volume down here. You can see the volume in here, and then the stock just went sideways. One thing I actually want to show you on, I like this feature on TC 2000. If you come down here on this panel right in here, this is what I actually put stock to any index, and I compare it. So up here we have the SPY, and down here we have the CAH. You can see where the actual period and what was happening in there. So while we had a sucker rally up in here on the SPY, this one actually was going up, But on the moment that we were going down, look what's happening on that stock. It's actually going sideways. That's a relative strength. And I was going to show you the same thing with another stock. It's called let's go back here and I'll show you CEC. This is another good stock actually. Let me show you on fundamentals on IBD and what's happening in there. I don't know what, my internet's acting up a little bit today. Anyway, and when it comes back I'll show you. I don't know what's happening. Here it is. Okay, CCC. You look at it's a cheap stock. Usually I like to trade the stocks that are $15 and above, but I really like the earnings in this one. Not the earnings, I mean, but I looked at the fundamental side. Composite rating is 98. It's the second stock on its group. Relative strength is 99. You can't get any better than that. And then if you look at the stock here, you can look at it on the weekly. It's not that great, but coming up here I really like these huge volume bars in here. This is accumulation of the big guys. So if I put the stock on comparison with the SPY, look up here, when the SPY up here, when it was taking a hit, look at what's happening to the stock. This stock actually was going up, taking a hit on the SPY. If you follow with me, if the SPY is taking a hit, this is going sideways. Now we went up, so the SPY went up like what, how much, 10% up here. This guy went up 74%. Okay, and then the SPY up there was taking a hit to the downside, and this stock actually was going sideways, and that's what you want to see. We had a gap. Let's go back to our basic. We had a gap here. If I put this back to the daily, we had this tiny gap in here, and then we kind of followed it, filled it with the lower volume. You can see it in here, these 2 days, lower volume, and then we kind of went up again on a higher volume that day. So again, I'm putting this line here because it will remind me as a resistance, so I can take my profit. So if I go back, you will see that we came back up here, so that was a resistance for me. So for the stocks move up here, which is still like 43%, even let's say 35 to 40%, I'm going to start taking some profit ahead. I don't have any position yet, but I'm looking forward to one. Stop loss will be anything starting to break below even this day. And usually this is what I do. Like if I get into this day, if I'm buying on this day, and let's say I calculate my stop, and then my stop is going to be in here, which is the low of this candle. If the stock came back here next day and starting to close below that, I'm going to take half. Okay, and then if it comes back down and starting taking this day, which is my initial stop, and I'm going to be all out. So that's the first case scenario. If this comes back and starting to take my first low in here of this candle, I'm going to take half. If it comes back and then starting to go up and starting to break up here, I'm going to add that half that I took out. And that's basically that's how I keep it simple on my trade. I hope you learned quite a few. And one thing I did mention, well, actually I did mention it on Twitter when I said that we could be actually what is my Twitter right in here, and I said that actually Bitcoin could be going up from here. Why? Well, what I noticed is that long ago Bitcoin and Ethereum, they were not following the stock market, but now for the last couple of years I've seen that every time the indices will take a hit, Bitcoin will take a hit. If the indices or the SPY, Dow Jones going up, the Bitcoin and Ethereum, they will follow up. So since we had a follow through day, and I said it here, Bitcoin can reverse to the upside from here, even though I had bearish sentiment. So the way if you look at it, the way the chart is set up, it's actually bearish. There is nothing, and I agree with it like 100%. Let's see what's happening here. You can see the stock, and I did mention this is daily chart, and I said this last week, and you can see every time we go up high we get depressed. Every time we go up, the seller is taking control. But since the indices took over, and then we had a follow through day on the SPY, and you can see that, and I just mentioned that, and we have that on all the indices. You can see probably, and like I said, what could happen technically, we need to see a breakdown, but since we have an upside movement on the Dow Jones and other indices, we probably, and that's why I always keep telling you guys, stay unbiased. Don't get fooled by that whatever chart. Yeah, this is an indication of going down. Yes, and then you might test the previous low right in here, right this resistance. But what about if this stock just decided to go up? Are you still gonna be, you'd be like, no, this is what I want? No, you don't decide, the market will decide, and then you have to react. So I'm thinking, and I said this back on this day, this is actually when I said it. I said it on the 19th or 21st, actually it was 2 days ago, and I said it can go to the upside. We have double bottom, and if you look at the chart on the 4 hour, that's what I like to see it. You're already starting to see this trend down here starting to get break. This is not really a big deal. This is not, doesn't mean that we're gonna go up from here, but this is the beginning. It could be. We need to see a lot. I want to see it on a daily basis. I want to see the Bitcoin started to take in some highs, like especially this high, and then this high, and then eventually this high. So once we started taking this high, all these highs, that's when the Bitcoin is gonna attract some attention, and then eventually what you want to see, going back up here and started taking previous support. All right, I don't want to keep talking too much. I hope this helped you. Hit a like if you got some of this, and then I'll see you next time. Take care. Bye bye.